Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. Despite the loss in Minnesota, Nick Bosa says the 49ers are not going to make any drastic changes this week.
It's always urgency here. I think that's why we're always a good team, is because the standard is high, and right when you're not living up to it, it's not panic. I wouldn't say it's panic, but it's definitely intense focus on getting back to it. So yeah, nothing changes. I don't think thinking about the Super Bowl now helps anybody.
A win on Sunday will go a long way to just sort of calming things down around this 49ers team. But a loss to a very banged up Rams team, that changes the conversation completely. Might be a little bit of panic after that one. One thing that will help: the return of Talanoa Hufanga. He practiced in full yesterday for the first time since tearing his ACL last season. In fact, the injury report for the 49ers looks pretty good. Deebo Samuel was the only one of the 49ers who aren't already ruled out that didn't practice. That means Talanoa Hufanga. That means D Winners. Everybody into the pool. Specifically, though, Kyle, what does Talanoa Hufanga bring to this defense?
Always miss Huff out there, the big play capability, how well he communicates, flying sideline to sideline. We're going to be pumped. He should get back this week if everything goes right, and we've missed him.
I know. The coverage with Hufanga wasn't always great. He's not a perfect player, but he always seems to find himself around the football and potentially making game-changing plays. Let's be honest, this defense could use a little bit of that right now. One more for you now from Kyle Shanahan. Kyle, how nice is it to have to game plan for the Rams and not have to worry about Aaron Donald?
It's definitely a little different. I mean, that's been 99% of our brain power for a number of years, and it's kind of weird just not thinking that way. But schematically, I know Raheem's not there and stuff, but they're still running the same fronts and same coverages and things. And but it's different.
It must feel good to be able to use 99% of your brain power on something else. If you are Kyle Shanahan, no reason the 49ers can't go out and beat down the Rams on Sunday. They need to, they should be able to. And if they don't, then we got to have a very scary conversation. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Thursday. Kyle Posey has the rookie report over at NinersNation.com. It's just a snapshot view of how every member of this draft class has done so far this season. Hopefully some of the roles for those guys, Dominic Pooney, Renardo Green, increase throughout the season, but definitely worth your time. The link is in the description of this episode. One thing to watch: Chris Sims did an excellent breakdown on his podcast of what the Vikings did that gave Kyle Shanahan so much trouble. He called it Kyle's kryptonite. It's all about how Brian Flores and other defensive coordinators, certain defensive coordinators, can do things that really take away the strength of what Kyle does on offense. It's definitely a good watch. It's not very long. Again, I'll drop the link in the description of this episode. One thing you might have missed: congratulations, Joe Staley and several other former 49ers who appeared on the initial Hall of Fame list for this year's class. Among the first-timers, Joe Staley, Vernon Davis, Delaney Walker, and yes, it really makes me feel old to see the Jim Harbaugh era 49ers now potentially up for the Hall of Fame. Doesn't feel like that long ago, does it? Well, apparently it was. In addition to those names, Justin Smith, Navarro Bowman, Anquan Bolden, all on the list. Best of luck moving forward. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio pods. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified when we go live, which is every single weekday and after every single 49ers game for you. Enjoy your Thursday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.